We're about to unfold the incredible 70-year story of how we taught machines to think. And this whole journey, it didn't start in some high-tech lab full of computers. It all began with just one single, powerful question. So picture this, it's 1950. We're talking way before smartphones, before the internet even existed. A brilliant British mathematician, Alan Turing, asks this one simple thing. And that one question, well, it was so radical that it kicked off a decades-long quest to build a machine that could actually think. But how would you even know, right? How could you tell if a machine was really thinking? Well, Turing's answer was it was so simple and brilliant. He called it the Turing test. And the idea is basically this. If you're chatting with something and you honestly can't tell if it's a person or a machine, then that machine is intelligent. Simple as that. To make it even simpler, forget all the complex code and just think of it like having a pen pal. You're writing back and forth, but you never meet them. If their replies are so convincing, so human, that you can't be sure if it's a person or a computer writing back, then that computer passes. It's not about the gears and wires inside, it's all about how it behaves. Okay, so fast forward just 6 years to 1956. This big idea finally gets its official name. A group of scientists get together at Dartmouth College and they call it artificial intelligence. And their goal? Man, it was incredibly ambitious. They wanted to figure out every single piece of human intelligence so perfectly that a machine could do it too. And you know what? In those early days, it felt like they were on fire. I mean, in 52, a computer actually taught itself to play checkers. Then by 59, we get the term machine learning, this core idea that computers can learn from experience, not just from programming. And get this, in 1966, they built Eliza, the world's very first chatbot that acted like a therapist. People were blown away. But then, bam, a major reality check hit. See, the big promise was, AI is going to think like a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. But the hard reality? Well, the computers back then just weren't up to the task. They were way too slow, ridiculously expensive, and these early AI programs, they just fell apart when they faced the messy, complicated real world. And the result of that failure was pretty devastating. The world basically lost faith. This kicked off what we now call the AI winters, these long, cold periods where all the funding just vanished, research labs shut down, and the whole grand dream of AI was put on ice. The entire field nearly died out. But after all those years out in the cold, AI was about to stage a huge comeback. And it was going to happen on a stage the entire world was watching, a showdown between a machine and the greatest human mind in the game. So let's set the stage. The year is 1997. The hype from those early days, long gone. Honestly, most people had probably forgotten all about AI. But quietly, behind the scenes, something incredibly powerful was being built. And this was the challenge. On one side, you had IBM's supercomputer Deep Blue. And on the other, you had Garry Kasparov, the reigning world chess champion, a certified genius who many believed was the greatest player of all time. This was it, man versus machine. And the result? It absolutely shocked the world. Deep Blue won. For the first time ever, a machine beat the best human mind at a game of pure, complex strategy. And this wasn't just about crunching numbers. It was about outthinking a genius. The message was crystal clear. AI was back, and this time, it was for real. Now, if beating a chess master felt like a giant leap, the next challenge was considered, well, impossible. We're talking about the ancient game of Go. It is so mind-bendingly complex, with more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe. The people thought winning required human intuition, something a machine could just never have. But then, in 2016, Google's AlphaGo didn't just beat the world champion, Lee Sedol. It completely changed how we see the game. It started making moves that were so creative, so alien, that they broke centuries of human strategy. This was proof that AI could do more than just calculate. It could almost have a kind of intuition, a creativity of its own. So what happened? What was the big change? How did AI go from those freezing winters to taking down world champions? Well, it really comes down to two key ingredients coming together at the exact right moment: a new kind of fuel and a totally revolutionary new kind of brain. So, ingredient number one, the fuel. And that fuel was the internet. all of a sudden, for the first time in history, there was this massive, planet-sized library for machines to read. And data? Well, data is the food that AI needs to get smarter. First up, language. Suddenly, an AI had access to billions of websites, billions of books and articles. It could literally read and analyze almost everything humanity has ever written, learning all the subtle rules of grammar, context, and knowledge. Then came sight. As we all started uploading billions of photos online, tagging our friends, labeling what's in the picture, we were accidentally creating the perfect training ground for AI. It was teaching the machines how to see and recognize the world, just like we do. And finally, understanding our intent. Think about it. The billions of searches we all type in every single day created this huge map of human curiosity. For the first time, AI could learn what we're looking for, what we want, and how we ask for it. This was absolutely key to understanding us. But all that data, all that fuel, was useless without a powerful new engine to process it. And that engine was deep learning. It's a technique inspired directly by how the billions of neurons in our own brains are all connected. This was the revolutionary new brain for AI. It sounds complicated, but here's the basic idea. You show an AI, say, 1,000,000 pictures of a cat. Every single time, its digital neurons fire in a certain pattern. It just keeps doing this over and over until it learns to connect that specific pattern with the word cat. It's not following a rule like look for pointy ears. It's just recognizing patterns. So once you combine the fuel of massive data with the powerful engine of deep learning, AI was finally ready to leave the lab and come into our daily lives. This really set the stage for the moment AI went from a cool idea to something everyone was talking about. And that moment was November 2022, when OpenAI released ChatGPT. It didn't just launch, it exploded. I mean, it hit 1 million users in just 5 days. For perspective, it took Facebook 10 months to do that. All of a sudden, anyone, anywhere, had a tool that could write essays, create code, and do things we never thought possible. So, when you just step back and look at the whole journey, it's pretty incredible. You know, it all starts with one question in 1950. Then it gets a name in 56. Then that huge chess victory in 97. Then AI learns to see in 2012. And then, boom, ChatGPT brings it to all of us. It's really a story of decades of slow, patient work that suddenly erupts it to a world-changing revolution. Which brings us right here to today. That 70-year quest to teach a machine how to think, in a lot of ways, it's done. And that tech is no longer locked away in a lab somewhere. It's right here, in our pockets, in our cars, in our homes. The original question, can machines think, has been answered. So now a new question takes its place. What are we going to ask them to do?